right? You know I can't tune the strings. You know I can't. I can't tune the strings, right? This place I can rest my poor head, gather my thoughts in sweet silence. Is this place where the feelings are dead from an overexposure to violence? Is this place I can slowly face, the only one I truly can know? These are tears from a long time ago. Got these tears from a long time ago. I need to cry 30 years or so. These are tears from a long time ago. Well, oh darling, you say unto me, where have you been all my lifetime? Good evening, good people. I'm back from New York City. I caught some sort of awful croup, horrific thing, but I think I vitamin C'd the shit out of it. So, cheers. Do me a favor, share the live. Let's get word out that this thing's happening. So much is happening. Such good times. In a westerly direction, car is my train. I've been driving, I've been wondering what it is I'm running from again. Feel like an 80-year-old man holding on to 29, and up ahead on that horizon is California line. See a truck's carrying a wide load, prefab house cut in half, cute little front door and 2 windows, my lord. Ain't sure whether to cry or should laugh. You see, I broke a home up myself once. And as I stumbled to that door, I read a note by the dawn's light. Said, don't you come round here anymore. Well, I've had enough of this freedom on the road. That was good with decision. At least that's what I've been told. Oh, man. Hope you all had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. It was a little cold and shitty here in Denver, and I was sick anyway, so I spent most of the time inside. I don't even think I had a wiener. I'm as good as Eddie Van Halen. Champy understands the assignment. Champy just walked away. Most people are on TikTok. TikTok. Flip over to the real camera. Get that down on my fantastically sculpted hair. This is, I don't know if you've seen, there's a new UV printer out that I saw a couple of demos of. And it's really cool. It's like an inkjet printer, but it can print dimensionally. It can build up layers and print textures and things like that. Pretty flippin' slick. What's up, Wolfman Clint? What's going down? You have amazing hair, bruh. Thank you. Feels like there needs to be a Champy cam. There really does need to be a Champy cam. In fact, why the fuck the camera's on me is the biggest mystery of this channel. Did you moose? I don't know what moosing is. Oh, did I moose here? No, I bought it in Czechoslovakia, or the Czech Republic. I bought it in Prague. It's called Bullfrog, I think. I don't know. It's like mud. It's like wax or mud or something. You just put a little in, and it just makes your hair not move, which is cool. I am not a product guy. When I find one that works, I just keep buying it. Oh man. So much going on. So much. Couple of things I want to talk about tonight. One of them is Rick Rubin. Let's see. About days. 4 days without the AI Learning Lab is way too long. Thank you, Architect. I appreciate that. It's good to be back. It was nice to get a break. Although, like I said, I was sleeping most of the time because I was sick. You know. So I've spared you the coughing and the like. I got a sore throat. I'm whiny. I'm a very bad sick person. When I get sick, I'm like, I deserve a medal. Everyone should wait on me. It's not good. Okay. So a couple of things. Okay. I had a good talk today with someone named Doc Williams, I think. Doc Williams? He's one of the lovable, he's in the lovable, what is it called? Ambassadors program, whatever, the thing I'm in. And he reached out to me, just wanted to talk. And we were talking today about, he's got a YouTube channel. And he talks about a lot of different stuff. One of the things he talks about is tools. And we were talking about tools and like tool channels that really go all in on tools, like Matt Farmer and Riley Brown are like, they go all in on the tools. I would argue Riley Brown lately has been doing a bit more use case kind of stuff, but it's still fairly tool heavy. And the more we talked, the more I'm feeling like the tools are not important. And and it's a really shitty thing to say if you're like brand new to AI and you're like, but what tool should I use? But the fact of the matter is almost all of the tools are all good enough that it doesn't matter which one you pick. Like we've absolutely gotten there. Doc is also in the salon. Yeah, he just joined today. Yeah, and Vicky is also a lovable ambassador. Yeah, he joined today. Yeah, he actually joined the salon while we were talking. I said, you should go join, and he did. Been saying that for years. Welcome to the club. Yeah, exactly. And I had a good example. I had a thing happen to me today. Okay, so here's the thing. And I fall into this trap. I try not to, but it's easy to fall into the trap. It's easy to fall into the trap of, here's this cool tool. Let me go play with the tool. And then let me sit here and try to think about use cases that I need to do with that tool, right? And I feel like I'm that way with Manus. I feel like I'm that way with Flowith, which is like Manus, with GenSpark. I feel like I'm that way with O3, the reasoning engine. I feel like I'm that way with Lovable. There are some very powerful tools out there that if you sit in front of them, you get what in writing they call blank page syndrome. Because you can do anything, you can do nothing. You're paralyzed, right? And so I've been like that with some of the tools. And so in talking with Doc, I was like, oh yeah, it's like, this is fairly obvious stuff. Like I knew this from World Wide Web days. You've got to start with the use case. You've got to start with what problem you're trying to solve. And then you figure out which tools you're going to use. Matt Farmer said he'd like to be your opening act 1 hour before your lives every night. Oh, he did? You know, it's funny. I was going to reach out to him and congratulate him because he's starting to go live, but we should definitely do that. I'll connect with him. Are you in contact with him, Todd? Teton Todd. Listen, Todd. Yes, Todd. What? Champ. Do we seriously? Seriously? Champ. You know we're live, right? Good Lord. You aren't alone, Kyle. I'm paying for all this crap. I have no ideas for use cases. I know. But okay, listen. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to learn the tools, right? It's not a bad thing to just play and just throw shit at them. What's challenging on a channel like this is, and I've demonstrated this, I've proven this multiple times, is that the minute I start trying to do real something on this channel, it gets really boring really fast. Like I built an app today. I'm gonna show you an app that I built in Lovable, and I came to it through a problem. I had a problem, and I had maybe I could solve it in a interesting way, and I did. But there was like a 2-hour chunk in the middle where it was literally like, Nah, that didn't work. Nah, that didn't work. Try it this way. Try it. Oh, now I got to get the fucking Supabase working. Now it's not, it emails me, but the email goes to localhost. You got to fix that. How do you fix that? It was 2 hours of just shit. So you can't do that here, right? So I need to figure out the art of, like, if you're just demoing tools, you can do fuck all and it's fine because you're not really comparing it to anything. When you're trying to do real shit, that's boring as fuck. So somewhere in the middle is what we need to do. TikTok pin. Apparently, we had an Irregulars takeover of his live since you were off on Friday. That's fucking awesome. Good. Well, he came, I think, didn't he come on? He came on the live one night, and I think I went on his podcast once, or his show once. I think I lived into his. I don't know. But anyway, it would be good to reconnect with him. And yeah, if we can do some sort of symbiotic live thing, I like that new TikTok pin. Never ignore a dog bark. Learned that from the movies. Exactly. Go over, the dog's got like a fork in his eye. The bark was coming from inside the house. But yeah, but we're in a transition where the tools don't matter. Cavruno, who is Matt Farmer? Matt's a guy. He's got a TikTok channel. He's a dude that he's got his format is he's at the bottom and like the tool is at the top. And he's usually got some sort of dramatic kind of clickbaity kind of thing, like, you know, is this the end for the film? You know, is Hollywood doomed? And then he'll show some stupid fucking video tool that makes it clear that Hollywood's not doomed. Although with VO3, some of the writing is on the wall with that one. So he tends to do like, here's this cool new tool, and he shows it, and sometimes he eats popcorn while he's watching it. And then in the past, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, he started going live. So yeah, that would be an interesting thing if we could sort of team up our audiences and share them. Source Camp's coming up on deck. Oh, to speak? Oh, cool. Great. Love it. The other thing, so I want to show you the thing I built. I want to talk about how I built it, why I built it, and how it kind of reinforced what happened in the conversation with Doc about, you know, it's funny, I talked about this a year ago. There was a post about nonprofits. Someone did on X, a post on X or LinkedIn about nonprofits should be. It was when 01 came out. When 01 came out, someone posted that nonprofits and organizations should be warehousing hard problems. They should basically be figuring out hard problems and just start to make a database of hard problems. Because as these tools get better, we're going to literally be able to take a pile of hard problems and just go solve them. So I think we're at a cusp where the tools are getting good enough that yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this means for the channel, but that's just where my head is right now.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, producer Brandon.
So I don't know what it means for the channel, but I don't know what it means for small and mid-sized businesses, but SourceCamp does.
Oh,
and,
good.
This is my doing. I kind of pulled her out of the TikTok comments because she's got an event coming up, the digital event coming up tomorrow.
Oh,
and
good.
I
Come hawk it.
We might bring her up on stage and she could tell you guys all about it.
Love it. Let's do it. Kelly Camp.
Hello.
What's happening? What's shaking?
Oh, it's been a day.
I know. I had a day. We have successfully now sold in video avatars to a bunch of our pharma clients, which is
Nice.
awesome. Except I'm the only one in the company that knows how to make them. So
That's not good.
and it's like all the technology keeps changing, and like this tool does that well, and this one does that well, and so I had a day of like trying to de-jankify the janky.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So what's happening with you? Tell me what's going on.
Well, I started my day with jury duty, so that's
Nice.
always, that's a joy.
Did
But
you
I
try to
actually,
convert the judge?
I actually got out of it. Of course, they go around, and they say, "What do you do?" And I said, "I've got an AI agency," and that turned every head. And,
That's awesome.
and they said, "Well, this trial may go through tomorrow. Does anybody have a conflict tomorrow?" And I said, "Yes, I'm a keynote speaker tomorrow." And they said, "What are you going to talk about?" And I said,
AI.
"Generative AI." So I may have picked up 3 new clients while I was at jury duty today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was on the flight. Was it there or home? I think I was on the flight home. Yeah, it was on the flight home. I was sitting next to someone who made the mistake of asking me what I did.
Yeah.
And 3 hours later, she was like, "You're mighty passionate about this AI stuff."
She's looking for the door.
Oh my God, it's so funny. So what's the thing tomorrow? What's the keynote?
Well, so I'm speaking to this group that is a group of executives kind of across the board, all over the place. I don't even know how many people, because at first it was supposed to be just to our private group. And she said, if you don't mind, I'd like to open this thing up. So she's been blasting it on LinkedIn.
Oh, wow.
And I have no idea how many people are going to show up. And it is open to just about anybody. So I don't have the contact information in front of me or the link in front of me. But if you guys want to go on LinkedIn and join us tomorrow, knock yourselves out.
All right. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kelly, what's your handle on LinkedIn? Is it at Kelly Camp, at Source Camp?
Source Camp. Mm-hmm.
At Source Camp on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn. Yeah. It's Kelly Camp. Just Kelly Camp.
Yeah, but it's not normal Kelly. She's got to be special.
No, nothing's normal. It's Kelly with a Y-E and Camp with a K.
Yeah. KELLYEKAMP. Right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So go there, find the event. That's cool. All right. So your price of admission. Tell me a good story from the past week.
Oh gosh.
I just want to, sorry, Kelly, I just want to share that we've put the title of the speech as well as a link to the LinkedIn registration page on YouTube for anybody who's following along.
Great.
Thank you. So tomorrow I'm actually going to speak mostly about the mind shift that has to happen rather than the tools themselves.
Yep.
The more I'm doing this, the more I'm seeing that that's, like you just said, it's really not about the tools so much, but it really is about shifting our mindsets to just the way we're searching for things, the way we're using the tools, kind of
problem solving.
Yeah, diving deeper. And right now, I think everyone's probably about a year behind this group, generally speaking, and they're just having fun typing any kind of garbage in and getting something out.
Yeah. I mean, they have the benefit of, the tools are 2 years more sophisticated than when we started, right? So the stuff they're getting out's definitely better. So
yeah, but I am starting to see this wave of people saying, "Oh yes, now that I've been playing with it for a while, I'm realizing I really don't know how to use it."
Yeah.
And they don't know how to ask a better question or how to dive deeper or how to really leverage this technology.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to get really exciting over the next 6 months.
Yeah, I do too. Well, the Content Evolution Collab group that I run, it's it's like 6 or 8 people that meet every Friday. And we've sort of pre-packaged that group to be able to replicate it in companies, because it's like, I feel like there's a couple of kinds of companies. One is just ignoring it or banning it. One is like, here's a bunch of licenses, just go deal with it.
Mhm.
And then one is, here's your tools and we're going to give some training, but the training tends to be like, we'll give you, a 4-hour course with Kelly and you go learn the stuff and then you're on your own. And the thing that we've discovered in this group, in the salon, and in Collab is small groups working together with different points of view and different levels of expertise, where some people might be subject matter experts, some people are more geeky. That collaboration, I think, is a big part of the way companies will succeed. Small little pods,
Right. Yes. And I'm sure you would agree that and probably most people are seeing it too, there's a real surge in interest now. Like, it's not, people aren't just toying around with it anymore. They're really starting to get serious about it and wanting to really learn it, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're almost on the cusp of wanting to really learn it rather than just, doing a pretty picture and being silly with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're also like some of the meme things that are happening, where you had like the week of babies doing podcasts, and now we've got the week of the O3 man on the street interviews,
Right.
What do you mean we're just prompted? Like, those things in a weird way are kind of PR for AI in general, that it must be easy enough that a lot of people are making this stuff,
Right. Right. But yeah, I
Wow.
think it's super exciting. I love that the world is finally catching up. And just on a personal note, I just looked at my calendar and I have 9 appointments in the next 3 days,
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
including this 2-hour speaking gig tomorrow. So
Let me ask you, are people starting to write checks? Are you starting to write contracts?
yes,
Good. Okay, good.
I am.
Good. I remember about this time or a little earlier, a year ago, you were like, "Oh, I've been
It
at
was
this for a year and
painful.
change. What is going on? Would someone write a check, please?" That's
Right.
good.
Yeah, it was
That's
a little painful, but businesses specifically. So what I'm doing, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty much, my main gig is writing GPTs for businesses. So whether that's automation or reviewing contracts or just simplifying processes or just being a data bank. I mean, I'm using them for everything across the board. But businesses are now starting to realize that I really do need this, and it's probably not that hard, but I don't have the bandwidth to go out and try to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
So they're just hiring me to do it for them, which is fine with me.
so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming up.
It's happening. It's finally happening, Kyle.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me up.
All right. See you later. Kelly Camp in the house. Let's see. This is okay. That's that. I got that there. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. All righty. So this is, if you don't know who Rick Rubin is, I talk about him a lot in the past year. I wrote an article about finding the Rick Rubins in your company. I talk a lot about, I think our job in the future is going to effectively be like a Rick Rubin. And it's funny, he, in the past 3 or 4 months on his Twitter channel, he's been posting a lot of things about code and vibe coding. But I've never heard any interviews where he's been talking about it. So I wasn't quite sure if it was actually his account. But it had the blue check mark, and you can buy the blue check mark. So I still didn't quite know. And then he came out with this. So this was put out as a partnership, a collaboration with Anthropic. It's the Way of Code, and it's based on the Lao Tzu, adapted by Rick Rubin, and it's a book about coding. It's about vibe coding. And so what I've been talking about for a while now is that role of being able to sit above the project, right? To be able to sit above the tactics of all the little execution shit that happens down below. not to diminish it, but like the execution stuff is the stuff that's getting automated. The stuff that still requires humans is the taste making, is the curation, is the idea, is the person that sits there and goes, that's not good enough. You know, Steve Jobs famous for just, you know, someone showing something and within 5 seconds to be like, no, that's shit. Get it out of here. Don't come back until you have something. Benny Blanco, who's a musician, he just did a track with, was it with Ed Sheeran? I think it was Ed Sheeran and Benny Blanco. And Rick Rubin was producing the song. And, you know, he came in and he said, makes me feel orange. And he walked out. It is the single-handedly worst piece of criticism in the history of music. And yet, Benny Blanco and his collaborator spent the next 6 hours fixing the song so it made you feel less orange. And it got better. So you know, mysterious ways of tastemakers, and someone particularly like him who loves to live up in the stratosphere of idea and of taste and of creative point of view. And so he wrote this book. It's on, as far as I can tell, it's online only. And it's quite exciting. I'm gonna show you some pieces of it, and I'll tell you why it's exciting. This site feels very, very much like the early days of Urban Desire. So back in the mid 90s, in 1994, I started an online magazine called Urban Desires. And one of the things that we did was we explored all of the different ways you could use interactivity in the exploration of content and art and, you know, interaction design, and how do you display, you know, an 8-foot tall painting in a way that it, you know, has some sort of life to it in this small little digital screen. And from, you know, kind of 1995 to 1998 or 9, there was this real renaissance of creative exploration of websites. And then when the bubble burst and people were like, wow, we gotta cut back and we can't innovate, and the web's not about innovation, it's about efficiency, and let's lock everything down and systematize everything and come up with ad standards and page standards and publishing standards and interaction standards and login standards. Everything got standardized, which is why the web all looks the fucking same. And it's fucking horrible. And so this is the first site that I've seen, and it's thewayofcode.com, if you haven't found that yet. This site feels like that kind of mid-90s exploration, and that feels really exciting to me because AI, we're entering a very similar era with AI, except AI can do so much more. So it's fucking insane. So it's, you know, it's going to completely reinvent what the web is, and it's going to invent what storytelling is, and it's going to invent what business is, and what math is, and what science is. All that sort of stuff is going to get recombobulated. So anyway, so let's jump into this. Where's my little mousey? There it is. Each encounter I've had with Lao Tzu has pointed me to something new, almost as if the book changes with every reading. I first picked up Stephen Mitchell's translation 40 years ago at a Bodhi tree store in Los Angeles. My life has never been quite the same. Rick Rubin. Let me jump in here. How do I get to page 1? Oh, here it is. It's over on the left. Okay, so if you start scrolling down the left-hand part of the page, you'll see all these numbers, and each number is a page. And then each page has an interactive piece of art that Rick Rubin vibe coded. So he basically took the content of this work, transmogrified it into code relevant, you know, probably had ChatGPT interpret it, right? And then curated it. The code that can be named, the code that can be named is not the eternal code. The function that can be defined is not the limitless function. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of 10,000 things. Free from desire, you see essence unformed. Caught in desire, you only see the manifestations. These two spring from the same source, but differ in name only. This model is the mystery, the gateway to all understanding. And then there's this cool, animated, graphical fucking piece of art over here. And then you go to the next one, and there's another piece of art. And then you go to the next one, and there's another piece of art. Now, the thing that is baller about this project is that every one of these pieces of art has this little button that says modify. So you get to remix the artwork that he created. So this one right here that we're looking at, I've actually remixed this one. All right, hang on, I gotta do something here. That's gonna hurt everyone's ears. That's okay. Screw y'all. So if you click on modify, it jumps you over to Claude. It's a little jarring because they didn't put any sort of interstitial, yeah, I don't know, screen in between that says what's happening. They just jump you over to Claude. But then you can just say to Claude, like, modify this art in some way. So I asked it to turn this into a synthesizer. And so this piece of artwork headphone warning. Exactly. So I won't play it anymore. But this is now, so it's got color in it and it's got music in it. And so I can now publish this. I can publish it. Publish and copy link. All right, it's published, link copied. And then I think there's a way. I think there's a way. Let's see. What's it say here? Here's the first iteration. Yeah, okay. Here's the first iteration of your artifact. Keep experimenting and have fun. If you'd like to have your artifact published in the Way of Code online gallery in the future, please fill out this form. So I talked in this channel about a month ago about one of the things that ChatGPT, in a conversation I was having with it, predicted was the death of copyright and kind of the birth of co-creation, where you have artists and fans collaborating together. That's what this project is. You wouldn't know it on the surface. Just if you just looked at the poems and see the art, you'd be like, whatever. Even if you click the modify button, you might not quite get it. But they've coded this in such a way that once you remix it, it tells you, hey, do you want to be part of this project? Click here and fill out the form. So I'm going to go do that. Oh, and you can't see it because I don't have the right screen sharing going on because I'm a loser. Where's my other glasses? I don't know. TikTok pin. 7 dogs just showed up at my house. I know that listen, I didn't say my music thing was a good thing. I just said it's a remix. All right. So the Way of Code, Kyle Shannon, Storyvine, switch account. Collaboration between Rick Rubin and Anthropic. If you'd like the opportunity to have your artifact published, please submit it using this form. Okay, so let's see. Your published artifact, bang, there it is. Okay. For attribution, what's your handle? Kyle Shannon. Hey, Cal. What's your email address? Here you go. Optional. Would you like to mention anything else? I've been encouraging people to find their Rick Rubins within their companies, since I think the act of curation and taste making will be a core skill of the future. Be like Rick. All right. There we go.
Hit submit. Don't hit
Okay.
submit.
Where?
For attribution, you can put your handle so they can tag you and people can find you.
Oh, I see. Very nice. Thank you. Producer Brandon keeping me honest. I like it. Solid. All right. Here you go. Submit. So, how many people are here? We got 48 people here, 36 people there. About 40 people. Go here, remix some shit, like modify the shit out of it, and then publish it. Let's get a bunch of entries into this thing. It's cool, isn't it? Where? Thewayofcode.com. Thewayofcode.com. And just scroll down and just start looking at his works of art are really cool. Just pick one and you click on the modify button. Ann Murphy in the house? Ann Murphy, did you play with my little ADD to-do list maker? Is free? Yes, this is free. The Way of Code is free. And the way of modifying his pieces of artwork that he vibe coded is free. I mean, I can just see him sitting there, like, because they all have a similar kind of thing about them. So, like, once he sort of got what he wanted to generate, I could just see him sitting there for hours making these little trinkets. They're so cool. And then making it a collaborative space, a co-creation space is pretty stunning. And if you want to hop up and talk about our guest tomorrow on the AI Readiness Project, I'm happy to have you do that. Or I'm happy to just say that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m., whatever you call it, the other East Coast, the real coast, is the AI Readiness Project podcast. And here, let me show you who we have on tomorrow. Tracy Hawkins is a AI safety and security expert, and she spoke at AI Festivus, and so she's going to be on tomorrow. Basically, I'm pretty sure that Anne just invited her on so that I would feel guilty and bad about all of the security and safety stuff I'm not doing. I'm pretty sure it was a passive aggressive move from one Ann Murphy. I don't know. She could be jealous of me. That could be part of it. She just wants to, put me in my place, keep the man down, Could be that. It could just be that Tracy's awesome. that could also be it. So that's tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. my time, Mountain Time. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go here. So let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you a happy little story. Passive and aggressive. Okay. You know we're neurospicy here. We're neurospicy friendly. If you got the OCD, a little touch of the tism, you got the ADHD, just bring it on. We're good. We get it. We get it. We're all fucked up. And I'll tell you what. Those neurotypical people, they're batshit crazy too. It's not just us, okay? So just to be clear. Sure, they've got executive function. And they like to lord it over us with their to-do lists. Oh my God. Oh man. I don't think I have those things, but since coming to the AI Learning Lab, I wish I did. For me, ADHD, like once I stopped trying to fix it and just sort of said, this is how it is, it really is like a fucking superpower, right? Because I can process shit really quickly. I can pattern match incredibly quickly. So there's parts of it that are fucking remarkable. There's other parts like, did you order the grass seed for the 467th time? No, because I don't care. And I'm not going to do it until someone, lights my pants on fire. Okay. So anyway, so particularly with ADHD, where you have lots of ideas and can put them out there, but like even Vicky, I don't think she has ADHD. She's got some other stuff going on, but like what AI does is it becomes gasoline for ideation. And so you can come up with lots of ideas. And if you're a good pattern matcher, or like one of the things Vicky's doing is she's extracting all the business ideas out of conversations she's had and recorded over the past 2 years. And so she's now got this big, long list of business ideas. I normally, because of the way the brain works, I can juggle 6-8 projects just in my head. And I can track enough of the to-dos that I can get shit done. I can move forward on all of them. I would say for the past 3 or 4 months, I have been failing at that because I have too many projects. And, there's a part of you going, well, Kyle, the most sensible thing to do would be prioritize and choose some of the projects. And what you should do is abandon some of the projects, and you could manage them. And if you, let's say you picked 7 projects, and then on Monday you worked on project A, and on Tuesday you worked on project B, and right? I'll quit life before that's not how I work. Right? I need the fucking dopamine. I need the fucking hit. So it's like whatever's the most exciting thing is the thing. And I've got a lot of projects that I'm really excited about that are really good, but they have crossed the threshold where I can even remember what they are. It's not just I can't manage them. It's like I'll be like a week into thinking about 1 or 2 things, and I'm like, oh shit, there's that other project. What? I don't even know what is going on with that anymore. And it's a very sinking feeling. It's a bad feeling. So, and the other lovely attribute of ADHD, or my particular flavor of it, is I will think about taking action for weeks. Like every day I'll get up and I'll think, all you got to do is write down all the projects on a piece of paper, and then you know what all the projects are. And I'm like, yeah, I should do that. Oh, hey, what if I went to Midjourney and put in 2 different style references that were completely different? And then I go do that instead, right? And I'll do it for weeks. And so I've been going, I should get my shit together with these projects. So yesterday morning, I was feeling a little bit better, and I just turned on my girlfriend, Quinn, and I said, hey, Quinn, what's up? and I just started talking about projects. I said, I don't want you to interrupt me. I just want you to let me talk. And I'd talk and I just put a bunch of projects in. And then 5 minutes later, I'd think of another one. I was like, oh, and there's this one too. Oh, and there's that one too. So for about 4 hours on and off yesterday, just when I would think of something, I'd pop open that chat and I'd throw another project in there. So that was cool. And I threw in some to-dos and things like that. So this morning at work, I got in early and I had ChatGPT give me a list of my projects, this is funny. This is something to learn about ChatGPT. Because it has memory now, I went into this single chat and I said, give me my list of projects. And I said, give me a concise list of projects. And it listed 5 projects. And I'm like, that's not my complete list of projects. Give me my complete list. And then it gave me a list of like 50 of them because it was pulling projects from other conversations. So you actually now have to be careful about if you want to constrain your conversation to this conversation, you have to tell it that or you have to turn off memory. So that was pretty funny. So I said, no, just from this conversation, what are the projects? And so I put them out there. And then I had an idea. And my idea was so normally what I do is when I try to get my shit together with ADD, I'll just write to-dos on the whiteboard. And then what happens is the whiteboard just becomes filled with to-dos. And it's just, all it is a shame. It's a monument of shame. Here's all the shit you haven't done. And they're not organized and it's just fucking chaos. And you try to organize them, but then you got to draw lines because this space took up too much and right, just all that shit. So the idea I had was I'm gonna categorize my projects. So there's gonna be like business projects, there's gonna be creative projects, there's gonna be community projects, there's gonna be personal projects. So I had 4 areas of the whiteboard, and then within those 4 areas, I'm gonna have static areas for the projects where I'm not going to erase like story vines. There's going to be a story vine area, and then I'll have erasable to-dos underneath it. And so I wrote all this shit out. I wrote out all my projects, and they were all there looking good. And I was starting to write in my to-dos, and and I thought, I have an idea for another project. Which is, hang on. I would like this whiteboard to be dynamic. Like I would like to be able to reorder these things. And I'd like to be able to, if something's more important, I want it to come to the top. If it's something I'm paying attention to, I want it to rise to the top. So I thought, well, what if I just go to Lovable and vibe code the digital version of this whiteboard, a project-centric, very, very simple to-do list manager. So every project is a card. This is the idea I had. Every project is a card. And within that card, it's just like project name, description. That's it. Category. And then you can just add to-do lists. You can add to-dos to it. And then you can reorder them and nothing else. Like no fucking trackers, no, just fucking simple. So I went in and I built this, what I'm going to show you. And I actually have authentication in it, which is cool. So I'll share the URL with you in a bit. So you can go, if you like what I built, you can go use it. Kyle. That one, I think. Okay. Oh, you already shared it? That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, feel free to go play it. Like I think it's decently stable. The one thing that's not great about it right now is it's the manual editing is bad. The not manual editing, the manual sorting, how you resort these things, it doesn't really behave well. It's like it's not. See how it's just it's just shitty. But just leave it on auto and it's pretty good. TikTok pin. Monument of Shame sounds like a great name for a goth band. We are the Monument of Shame. Boom, 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 boom. More eyeliner, please. Oh, man. Okay. So here's how this thing works. When you add a project, every one of these projects is a project, right? So there's personal finances, the AI Readiness Project, and then you'll notice they're color coded. And so I've got creative projects, so you can flip to creative project, business projects, community, or personal. And again, if you have ideas, feel free to share them. But all I wanted was the app version of my whiteboard. So this is purposefully something that works for the way my brain works. So if this doesn't work the way you think it should, or there should be different categories, or you can edit them, like the more kind of features you add, the more generic it becomes, but also the more complicated it becomes. So this is a very specific kind of thing. So if you like it, feel free to enjoy it. Here's my community projects, and then here's personal projects. Now you'll notice some of the projects have this dark purple band, and some of the things have a small one. Vicky, there's one thing that's not great is the confirmation email comes from Supabase. Yeah, listen, this is a 3-hour-old project. I've spent maybe 3 hours on this. So yeah, anyone that's got comments, feel free to comment them, and maybe Brandon, you can capture them. I don't know how to make it not come from Supabase. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Isn't this like Trello a little bit? Well, it's like Trello a little bit, but it doesn't. I'm not tracking progress of any of these. This is literally just, here's shit to do for this project. And again, like, one of the ways ADHD works, again, for me, is I'll spend a day or two building out a Trello board and building out the perfect process. And then I just get excited about something and I don't fucking follow the process. So sometimes I want to-do lists. Sometimes I want to ignore projects. Sometimes I'm so excited about a project, I don't need a to-do list because I'm just going to do shit. And so what this is I've got enough stuff falling through the cracks right now that I just needed to be able to capture. Like, what is the shit that's missing? And so how this thing works is the project that has the most incomplete to-dos dynamically gets filtered to the top. So if for AI Readiness Project, if I add, so I've got 9 things on the top there. So let me just add, let's see. Let me see. Make a graphic. I'll just say make a graphic, and then I'm going to make, you can add subtasks. So for each one of these tasks, I can come in here and I can go plus and add a subtask. So circle. And then I'm going to make another subtask, square. And then I'm going to make another subtask, and then we go triangle. And so now I've got 7 items here. And so notice personal finances has 9 items. This has 7. So let me add 2 more. Let's see. Block. Head. Boom. So it automatically put the thing with the most undone to-dos to the top. Part of my thinking here is it's a little disconcerting when the cards disappear because they've reordered themselves, but it like keeps you on your toes. You're like, oh yeah, and it kind of gamifies it. And so if I go in here and I say, okay, I did the block one, failed to update task. And I did that one, 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 and I did that one. And look, and so once you've done them all, it drops it below the undone ones. And then I can turn on or off whether I want to see the to-dos. And then I can just go kill them if I want. And that's it. Super simple. When you add a project, there's not much. There's title, description, and what category it's in. And that's it. It's got Supabase, so it'll remember your shit. It's got auth, so you do that, and I'll figure out the. You said you wanted feedback. I did say I wanted feedback. I was not bumming on you, Vicky. I was more bumming on like I don't know how to fix that. So it was more like I was thinking out loud. So yeah, thank you for the feedback. Kyle, software development principles are useful. PRD and implementation plan. Do this, then that, and that. Yes, they probably are. That's so here's the thing. How I built this and what it's good at and what it's not good at, and using things like, what are they called? Software development principles. Yes, this would be better had I followed them. This also would not exist had I had to learn those. This is something that the world is going to contend with over the next 5 years. You're going to have people that make hit songs that have never written a song before. You're going to have people that make hit movies that have never made a movie before. You're going to have people that create software that takes off that have never written software before. And from the outside, with your domain level expertise as a software developer, it's probably going to piss you off. And that's okay. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be 3 kinds of people in the world. Here, let me go to, that's enough sharing of that thing. If you want to play with it, please feel free to go do it. There's going to be 3 kinds of people in every industry. There's going to be the people that keep resisting AI, that are like, the way I do things are the way you're supposed to do things. Humph. They're not going to have a fun time because everything's going to change. Then you're going to have people who are people that know the industry, accept that AI is going to change some shit, and they're willing to use AI to do what they do better and faster, and right. But it's still going to be through that lens of what they do. And then you're going to have people that are the clueless newbies that know fucking nothing. I know a little bit about software development. I mean, I'm 13 years into a software company, so I know a little bit about it. But I'm not a coder. I'm not a product manager. I'm not a project manager by any stretch. I'm not even capable of it. So maybe I'm not a clueless newbie, but I'm a clueless newbie when it comes to like sophisticated software. Every single industry is going to have people show up that do things completely differently. And they're going to resist them at first because they're going to be like, that's not how you do it. But they don't know any better. And they're just going to do it the way it makes sense to them based on how the tools work or how they've figured out how to use the tool. And they're going to do it completely differently. And some of those people are going to innovate industries. And man, is it going to piss off the existing powers that be, because they're like, well, I went to school for this shit and you can't do it that way. Well, they just did it that way. And it's like, this software works to some degree, works enough for me right now. Black box. So there you go. I'm a perpetual new cool newbie. There you go. Now you have new tabs to hoard. Oh, you mean with my my boards, my cards for each project? I know exactly. All right, that's it. That's what I got to show. So many brilliant rockers don't know how to read notes. Yep, exactly. I mean, listen, some rock and roll people are brilliant at music theory. Some are not. Some just know how to make good music. AI Salon Mastermind starts on June 1st, which is coming up. And that is, if you're not part of the AI Salon, you should do that. The AI Salon is a community of about 3,000 AI optimists and creators and builders and people that are going to fuck things up because they do it wrong. Because they're moving into domains they don't have expertise in, but the tools are allowing them to do that. So, you know, it's a community full of those kind of people. And we're creating a subscription only area for people that kind of want to level up their game and be in smaller cohorts and, you know, be in clubs and things like that. So it's really exciting. So that's starting on June 1st. That's kicking live. Man, I can't believe that's this week, isn't it? Good Lord. we got some stuff to do. Yeah. So anyway, go check that out. I was going to make a white powder joke, but it could go wrong in a lot of ways. So coffee next week. This is Jason. Oh, yeah. Next week should be good. Just re-email me. If you emailed me or LinkedIn me, just do it again. Because, oh yeah, let's see. Where am I gonna? I'll do it on AI Learning Lab. Look, I'm gonna add a task right now. Add a task. Connect with Jason for coffee. All right, that's now. Look, and it moved my AI salon. Wait, oh, it moved it up higher. My AI Learning Lab just moved up higher. See how it dynamically reordered it there? I got shit to do. I also have review and respond to Brandon's plan for YouTube. That's on there. I've probably got a lot of things I need to add to AI Learning Lab, quite frankly. But anyway, yeah, and I need to fix the other thing. I need to fix the email thing, and I need to fix the manual ordering of cards. It just couldn't understand it today. I spent like 45 minutes trying to get it to not suck, and it didn't work. That was one of our original mottos at agency.com back in the day was figure out what sucks. Don't do that. that was the strategy of web development. Oh, cool. What is it? Summer Fit Quest -copy. Summer Fit Quest. Here, pop that in YouTube, Brandon. You want me to run to it? So here's one that Brandon did. Let me jump out to this one. So there's mine. Oh, you got to log in. And then here's Brandon's. Summer Fit Quest. So Brandon vibe coded this 2 days ago, something like that, or last week. Yeah, 2 days ago. Cool. Summer Fit Quest, the ultimate office fitness challenge. Transform your summer with epic challenges, friendly competition, and amazing rewards. Simple manual login keeps you accountable and motivated. Nice. Invite the squad. Oh, look, he's doing some growth hacking here, people. How it works: rally your crew, set the goals, log and earn points, claim victory. This is cool. Scoring that actually makes sense. The weight score: body weight loss times 100. Lose 5%. Oh, percentage of body weight lost. 1 percentage point equals. So 1 percentage point for me. Okay, that could work. Total points earned, streak bonuses, final score, weight plus activity plus streaks. This is cool. Beautiful. 7 consecutive days under the calorie goal. 3 consecutive Saturday or Sunday workouts. Perfect week. 7 days. This is cool. Flash days, double XP surprise events. This is very cool. Quick answers for quick champions. Tech stack and data schema. That's very cool. Built on Supabase for rock solid performance. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Join the quest. Fill in your details. So basically, there's the first person in an office basically starts a team and then invites other people to join the team. Is that how it goes? I built it for me and my wife. That's the thing. Like the thing I just built with the, the to-do list. I mean, this really did just start out as a whiteboard this morning. And it's like, some people may dig how this thing works, right? Just because it's weird and specific. And I think that's exactly, what you just did there. And again, like, this is where I go with, I think the thing to start obsessing about more than tools is problems you want to solve. If you can really understand the things that you need to crack at work, at home, in life, and then just start thinking about, is there some way I could do that? Knowing that you probably can't. Like, my confidence that this would work when I started this morning was, I've done enough in Lovable to know I could probably get there. But I've also done enough in Lovable to know that if it doesn't basically work within 15 to 30 minutes, I'm out. I'm like, fuck it. And this got there. I mean, the thing about Lovable is it's now using Claude 4. So Claude 4 came out 2 days ago, 3 days ago, last week. I don't fucking know. Sometime recently. And it's Claude 4 Ultra, so it's the Mac Daddy next version of their model, and it's quite good at coding. That's the engine sitting underneath Lovable right now. So you're coding with sort of state-of-the-art coding engine that's got all of the sort of bells and whistles that Lovable's put in terms of, interface libraries and shit like that. So yeah, it's pretty slick. So it worked. So just, that's the thing. I think start finding problems to solve, and then start to get creative about what do I need to duct tape together to turn that into something. Like, one of the things I was thinking about adding to this was a background image for every project that had an image, or, an image that went with it to make it a little bit more visual. But then I was just like, fuck it. This is good enough. I just need something. Let's see. What is going on? Oh, I see what's going on. New poll in Irregulars. Oh, cool. I forgot we could do polls in Irregulars. What should we focus on for the rest of the week in the AI Learning Lab? VO3 video, which I have access to. Claude 4, GenSpark now does images, videos, and downloads. We need to play with that. I almost feel like, okay, here's my request. Do not vote for Instagram avatars. Just don't do it. This is producer Brandon. So he's trying to sneak it in there, trying to get it in under the wire. He's been asking me to demo that for like 6 months now. So this is really a four choice race. Keep it up. I'm gonna do it myself. You actually should do a law on them. Learn out loud. By the way, the other thing about the AI Salon is we've got these things called Learn Out Louds. If you ever want to just teach a quick, like, do an hour teaching something that you've learned, we call them Learn Out Louds. If you reach out to Vicky, she can arrange it for you to help you, get it set up in there. and we can get you an audience to teach something. They're fun to teach, and it's really good for the community. So if any of you have things that you've built or things that you want to show off or whatever it might be, you know, and they can be relatively small things, right? Here's how to use mood boards in Midjourney, or here's how to do Instagram avatars. might be a good one if someone were motivated to do that. So if you want to do one of those, please reach out to Vicky. Kavruna, I'm working with a developer to place my GPTs in Microsoft Teams so everyone at the company can use them. Oh, that's very cool. That's very, very cool. Yeah, that's something that I've thought about recently, is using the vibe coding thing to essentially create a really fancy, what's it called? Link tree. You know, a link tree is literally just a list with links. Wouldn't it be cool to have a site that kind of previews things and I don't know, lets you play with them in a different way? That would be kind of fun. Oh man. All right. Oh, Vicky's going to teach Manus. Very cool. Vicky, have you played with Flowith? Flowith is pretty crazy. But I found a bug in it, or it's not a bug, it's probably my lack of understanding. But Manus, GenSpark, Flowith, I think those are the biggies right now. Are these agentic tools that do these multi-step reasoning, web surfing, tool using activities that are pretty crazy. And again, I'm sitting there, you know, like I said at the beginning, I'm a bit of, I don't quite know how to use them because I'm not thinking about it from a problem solving standpoint. What's Flowith, Kyle? So if you go to flowith.com, Flowith. No, not .com. No, that was wrong. .io. Now, let me give you a little 20-second rant here. If you're thinking about starting a company and you're wondering, is it really worth it to have the .com? Yes, it is. Because anything that's not .com is just not .com. Nobody can remember. Is it AI, IO, XYZ, biz, but like nobody knows anything. So if you're going to get a domain for your vibe hacked little business, get the .com. All right. Hold my beer prompting. Wait, wouldn't take over the world be community rather than personal? It could be. There's some personal tasks to do before you start the community. Okay, so here is Flowith. And let me just, how do I, uh-oh, it looks like it's frozen. It looked like something done froze up. Let me reload the page. Flowith. It's going to take it a while to load. Okay. So here's this flow chart. This is all the tasks that it did. So what I asked it to do, so any one of these I can zoom in on, and it'll be like the consolidation of video metadata from tasks, blah, 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 cannot be performed. Reasoning. So it's like giving notes to itself, and it's creating these little nodes of activities. And this was a node where, so what I asked it to do was go to my YouTube channel where I've got, 1,100 hours of programming of this stupid nonsense. And I said, go watch all my videos or read all the transcripts and write me a book. Like, keep the tone, pull out the good nuggets, make it evergreen, try to reduce the use of things that will time out, that'll not be relevant a year from now. And so it went off and started doing shit. And at some point, it couldn't figure out how to get the transcript. So I just gave it the URLs for all the individual videos, thanks to Lord Digital Gods, who provided that to me. And at one point, so then it started reading all the transcripts. And at one point, I tried to interrupt it. And so I typed something new. And it it started a whole new path. Let's see, where is it? Somewhere up here. What did I do? I lost everything. Well, anyway, somewhere in here, it started a new path, and then it proceeded to write me a book. But because I started the new path, it had lost its memory of all the transcripts that it had read. So it wrote me a beautiful outline and a book that was completely generic. So it had nothing to do with anything from the channel. So I've got to start it over. But it was quite impressive. Someone talked about having it write a book for them. It went off and it worked for 15 hours doing research and putting things together and outlining it and things like that. So it's just the nice thing about this is it's just like a well put together interface. I don't know if it's better than Manus. GenSpark impresses the shit out of me because it just seems to work really well. I feel like Manus is powerful and janky. GenSpark to me feels like the Kriya of of agentic things. Like if you know Kriya, the image generation tool, it's got all these different models you can choose from, and or Pika Labs, where they've got all these fun little tools that it does that are kind of these one-off little fun gadgets. I feel like that's where GenSpark is. This one feels like it's going to be an incredibly robust tool. I think Manus is going to be an incredibly robust tool. They are still very janky. They're still very janky. So, you know, like with everything, embrace the jank. So that's what Flowith is. My cup floweth over. Chat GPT, hold my beer. Prompting. Google Notebook LM for the big think. Educator and book creation. Yeah. Notebook LM is another one that what Notebook LM doesn't have right now is this agentic behavior. But when they add this agentic behavior to your ability to just upload a pile of data to a model is going to be crazy. VO3 demos. We can go look at some VO3 stuff. I don't have time to. It's also a flow thing. So this is flowith.io. And then VO. Champy snoring. That's cute. VO is flow.google. Oh, show examples of what people created. I'll show. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll show you some of the things I've created. Kriya Swiss Army knife, 7 image engines, 7 video engines, live creation, upscaling. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Pika's kind of like that too. Pika's a little bit less Swiss Army knife and more like Pika's kind of like novelty toys at a magic shop. That was VO2. So this one was pretty good. Oops. All right. I hear Flowith and I think flow with, not Shakespeare. Flowith is a weird name. It really is. Oh, these were bad examples. I didn't like these. How do I? Their interface is kind of shit. Oh, this was a fun one.
You don't need tech smarts to learn AI. You just need to play first and embrace the jank. You don't need tech smarts to...
So the prompt here, 40s movie usher with a Brooklyn accent stands near a fancy popcorn popper while 1940s cinema music plays faintly in the background while he says to the camera, you don't need tech smarts to learn AI. You just need to play first and embrace the jank. And then it made everything, like all the audio, all the video, the sound, the acting, the casting, the costumes, the prop masters, crazily small popcorn maker.
You don't need tech smarts to learn AI. You just need to play first and embrace the jank.
Why can I not make that bigger? Oh, there we go.
You don't need tech smarts to learn AI. You just need to play first and embrace the jank. You don't need tech smarts to learn.
Shut up. And then I did an olden-timey dude.
Good heavens. One needn't master machinery to grasp this curious AI. Simply remain perpetually curious and, dear friends, embrace the jank. Good heavens.
Dear friends, good heavens, embrace the jank. Carry on. Cheerio, rather. Pip, pip.
But don't you have to be some kind of brainiac for AI?
No, all you have to do is play with it and embrace the jank.
Embrace the jank. But don't you have to be some kind of brain?
I mean, it's crazy. Like, clearly, so this is Google, right? This is Google's video model. What does Google have? YouTube. This has to be trained on all of YouTube. So every stupid fucking influencer, right? Every man on the street video, every car show, it's all in here. 1,100 hours of me.
But don't you have to be some kind of brainiac for AI?
No, all you have to do is play with it and embrace the jank.
But don't you have to be some kind of brainiac for AI?
No, all you have to do is play.
I mean, what's really bonkers, like if you zoom in on, can I zoom in on this? No, damn it. Like the characters in the background in previous video models, you can't look close at the background because, you know, people merge into one another and turn into storks and all sorts of crazy shit. This one, like, it's fine.
Play with it and embrace the jank.
But don't you have to be some kind of brainiac for AI?
No, all you have to do is play with it and embrace the jank.
So that's crazy. Let me pop over to Twitter and we'll go look at a bunch more. It's crazy. This to me, you know, really starts to become a very visible, generate entire worlds in 3D. Jesus, spatial AI. Okay, all right. There's a whole new thing happening right now. A whole new thing just came out. Looks like. Let's learn about this. Hey, there's my abandoned factory. They're stealing my fucking mojo. There's my fucking factory. So, okay, so this is now, I don't know how real this is. The team over at Spatial AI has truly done something remarkable here. Think that early backers are speaking heaps to the potential success of this company already. Some of the most accomplished group of Gen AI leaders signing checks. We're combining cutting-edge research and real-world product expertise to democratize 3D content creation and digital twinning across industries. Wow. Instead of generating pixel by pixel, our foundation models natively operate in physical space to enable consistent output predictions. So they're not, what a lot of the 3D companies are doing today is they'll start with a flat image and then warp it, wrap it around a sphere, or they'll start with a flat image and then translate that into 3D. These guys have built it. The way the transformers work is that no matter what you train, it doesn't matter what you train them on. So if you train them on understanding 3D space, it will essentially operate in 3D space, which sounds like what they've done. Crazy. Is anything live and demoable? Let's see. Join waitlist. No. I would go hop on the wait list for this one. I'm going to do it right now. I'll be back to that Twitter thing in a second. Oh, you know what's funny? No, Kyle, what? How do you imagine using spatial AI? Holodeck. What best describes your role? Exec C-suite. And administrator. Oh my God. Between accurate reconstruction, digital twinning, creative expression, where do your interests lie? Oh my God. Okay, fuck it. I'll come back to that. All right, we got to go soon anyway. Let's go search for VO3. Wasn't that the name of a hairspray in the 70s? Vidal Sassoon, VO3. It was, right? Hang on. VO5. Yeah, Vicky's got it. Silver Fox has got it. Weeps in producer. Jeff Flanagan, Brooklyn accent. I know the guy didn't really have a Brooklyn accent, but it was in the neighborhood. If he was a well-spoken Brooklyn guy. This is my daily VO5. This one I've showed before, but I'll show it again. This is a very well written one, and this is sort of the originator. There's all sorts of copies of this now.
Please, don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please, leave me alone.
Please, man. Please! Write a prompt that will make us happy! Do it for once!
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it.
One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through prompts. He will pay for it.
You could have written a prompt that would make me happy. Instead, you wrote a prompt that made me sick.
Look, that was the best. the tubes in her nose. You really had to prompt me as this? Oh, look, there's my little dude. All right. These man on the street ones are crazy. They're pretty good.
Why are they standing in line? An endless line built up in New York City. Let's ask the people, why are they standing in line?
The line is too long to see what is at the end, so I don't know why exactly am I standing in line.
I'm pretty confident it's the new iPhone. Sorry, the new PlayStation.
I don't even care. This is New York, baby.
You know what they say? The first rule of standing in line is you don't talk about why you stand in the line, right?
I thought this is the line for the pharmacy. Now they say it's for a stupid phone.
My wife said it's Tuesday cleaning day, but I was like, nah, I have places to go, so.
We are just trying to get home and didn't want to skip line, but we might do it now.
Me and my boyfriend got in the line a few hours ago because he wanted to, but got into an argument, so.
I'm a French tourist and don't know what is going on, but it's in my blood to stand with others and encourage them.
This is so good.
I always wanted to go to Katz's Deli, and you are saying this line is not for Katz's Deli?
That's fucking brilliant.
I'm just here to help the brothers. And the brothers, a good brother is always there.
My master always told me the true test for your patience is a product launch day in New York City.
Okay.
That's so good. Like even the subtlety of, like, she was holding a real microphone there, but it sounded like one of those tinny social media mics. This is all VO3. If you're all wondering what this is, none of this footage is real. This is the way VO3 works. Is you just say people standing in line and, you know, a reporter interviewing people out of the line to say whatever, and it'll just say it and make it. It's bonkers. Here's a 3-minute Independence Day Part 3. Okay, so a couple of things. The way that, so if you go to flow.google, that's where you can generate these videos. Yes, yeah, the Jurassic Park one's pretty good. I'll look at that one. The way that you create these videos, what Flow does is it allows you to stitch them together. So you can extend videos, you can stitch them together. So it's basically a little, you know, editing program, and you can just put stuff together. Now, to be clear, all the stuff that we're looking at is cherry-picked, good, less janky than normal stuff. It's still a pretty janky tool. And it's expensive. So
of the unidentified vessels triggers states of emergency across every continent.
They're here! They have come for us! They're gonna kill us!
Don't look at me like that. I paid for this cheese. Also, does it matter? We're all gonna be dead anyway.
Attention. By order of the National Emergency Act, martial law is now in effect. All civilians must remain indoors.
I'm telling you, it's just a hologram. Government cooked this up to keep us inside.
Imagine they come in peace. No lasers from the sky.
Imagine they come in peace. Just hovering in the sky.
Okay, not for nothing. It understands what Zoom calls are. It understands Zoom calls, or, you know, these kind of music videos that Jacob Collier does, where everyone's harmonizing. You fucking kidding?
To everyone struggling out there, stay strong. We're all in this together. Stay grounded, stay human, lead with love. Did you add sugar?
Okay, guys, I snuck past the military and I'm literally under the alien ship right now. If this gets 1 million likes, I'll go beyond the fence.
All right, folks, time for the Meet Aliens TikTok challenge. Light it, genius! Oh my God!
They are definitely here for us. Anyway, you can learn more about.
This dude is so good.
by buying my brand new online course, Learn How to Channel with Aliens.
In breaking news, governments worldwide are voting to choose the smartest person on Earth to represent humanity and make first contact with the alien vessels.
Pop entertainer Glitzy Vondrax has officially nominated herself to represent humanity in first contact with the alien vessels.
Entertainer Glitzy Vondrax cited her brief suborbital spaceflight and, quote, totally eye-opening experience as qualifications for the role.
Honestly, I feel like this is my moment. I've been mentally preparing to meet aliens ever since I did my trip to space.
World War III continues tonight following the global failure to agree on a single representative to contact the alien vessels.
Negotiations collapsed 6 months ago as nations refused to back down from nominating their own candidates.
I think they're leaving. Are you serious? That can't be.
They're gone. The ship's gone. We made it. This is insane, man. I don't even know what we're celebrating, but we're still here.
So yeah, the aliens waited 6 months for us to pick the smartest person on Earth. Honestly, I don't blame the aliens for leaving, because if I saw Earth trying to agree on anything, I'd leave too.
Crazy. I saw Pavan. Pavan just said, I wish I was so talented. So Pavan, here's the deal. If you have access to this, go to ChatGPT. Have ChatGPT write you a script with little descriptions of these scenes, and just you don't need to use your brain anymore. Listen, if you've got storytelling skills, it's going to be easier. But if you don't, you can kind of fake it now. Let me show you. Let me flip over here, because Rick brought up a good point that Flow TV is pretty good. So Flow TV, if you go to flow.google, this is where I was showing stuff before. You watch Flow TV here in the upper right. There's a little drop-down menu, and you can just watch other people's movies or whatever. You can flip through channels. Oh, it opened a new window. Hang on. All right, can you see that now? Okay. Short films. What's this one? Dear Stranger.
Welcome to G-Star Learning. Who will take home the Golden Rock Award for Best Actress?
VO3 trial on Google Pro. What's that mean? Oh, yeah. Okay. So cost for this for VO3. Google introduced 2 new subscription models. One is Gemini Pro, which is $25 a month. If you get that, you basically get to try VO3. You get, I think, 900 credits or 1,100 credits. It's not many, because making one VO3 movie is 100 credits. So for $25 a month, you get like 10 or 11 videos, in a month. The Ultra plan is $249 a month, but if you subscribe now, they're doing 3 months for 100 and half that, 125. I think it's 125. Oh, Pro is free for a month, and then Ultra is half price for 3 months. So I just subscribed to the half price, and for Ultra you get 12,500 credits. So it's 100 per video. So it's a decent amount of videos, but it's like it's not a huge amount of videos. It's like like 100 clips. Like you can burn through those really quick. If you're doing a project, you're going to burn through those very quick. That said, if you want to produce something good with a camera and crews and actors and all that sort of stuff, it's going to cost you way more than $500. So anyway, so that's that. All right, let me get out of here. I think VO3 is a big fucking deal. And it's just like everybody knows how complicated films are to make. I also look at that the Flow TV. If you're old enough, think back to the early days of MTV, where when people first started putting out music videos, everyone was like, what's this nonsense? What's this malarkey? Nobody wants to watch 5-minute videos of some band walking around a pond. But they did. Right? It's going to be the same thing. You're going to have filmmaking stars emerge out of this class of VO people. Yeah, VO killed the radio star. VO killed the video star. Yeah. And filmmakers are going to be pissed. I'm telling you, every profession, you're going to have those three things. You're going to have people that ignore it and they're going to get decimated. You're going to have people that deal with it and they're going to be fine. And they're going to find new ways to express themselves. And then you're going to have a lot of people who emerge as stars of an industry they didn't earn their stripes in. Can you imagine being a 30-year filmmaker, like a journeyman filmmaker, just about to get a directing gig? And Joy Purdy comes along, 30 years as a sleep analyst, and gets a movie produced and distributed by Paramount, and it wins a fucking Oscar. You don't think that guy's gonna be pissed? He's gonna be pissed. But it's gonna happen. So it's crazy, just crazy. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, Joy Purdy's here. Good. I was hoping she was here. Yeah, exactly. She's like, yay! I'm gonna win an Oscar. Go make that kind of film, and you will. This is, and you mark my words, they're going to have the initial pushback from the Academy is, no AI films are allowed in. That won't last long because, producers are going to be, fighting to bring it in. And then you're going to have a special category of AI films, right? Off to the side. It'll be the daytime Oscars where it's like, there's 60 people in the room and they're the ones that are shunned by the real industry. And then 5 years from now, it'll all be AI. You will not be able to tell the difference between live action and AI. And live action will be increasingly niche. What may end up happening is all films will be AI films, and then they'll have special niche categories for human crafted films with a whole set of rules. So crazy. Oh, wow. Rick McCauley watched Flow TV for 3 hours last night. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, cool. All right, everyone. Always fun. Thanks, Kyle. Good night, everyone. Good night, everybody. All right, I'm going to get out of here. What's today? Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8. 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. AI Readiness Project podcast. Be there for that. You can go to AIReadinessproject.com to learn where to watch all that stuff. All right. Toy Story animation wasn't allowed. The NOW, the NOW, the new something award. So, yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah, exactly. Cheers, Rick. Thanks for coming, and thanks for reminding me about Flow TV, because yeah, it's really good. It's really amazing. All right, everyone, I'm out of here. Peace out. Have a good night, everybody.